Question one comes from Mohammed Rock. And the question says, since you left the country, Comrade Pagan, South Sudan, people have been appointed in the position of Secretary General of the SPLM as acting Secretary Generals. The question is, doesn't that indicate that President Kiir still recognizes you and still hopes that when you come back, you take your position as the Secretary General of the SPLM? That was the question.
Well, it is true that a number of cadres have been appointed as acting Secretary General, especially after I returned to Juba in 2015. And I was reinstated as Secretary General of the SPLM. Yes, it may mean that President Kiir still considers me as the Secretary General, and only that absent, therefore he was appointing people to act as Secretary General. Will it mean that President Kiir is hoping that I will return to assume that position of the Secretary General? I doubt that this is the case. This is just a political gimmick by President Kiir, because essentially President Kiir is the one who blocked and obstructed the implementation of Arusha reunification agreement, an agreement that we negotiated and signed and agreed to reunite the SPLM on the basis of returning to the vision of SPLM, to the program of SPLM, and to the agenda of SPLM. But the way things went and the way President Kiir obstructed the implementation of the Arusha reunification agreement was that President Kiir, first and foremost, is not interested to return to the vision of SPLM. President Kiir is not ready to see the SPLM as the ruling party because he has marginalized it and excluded it from decision making in terms of policies and guidance of the government. President Kiir has been acting on his own as a dictator. He has been imposing his own agenda, which is an agenda of despotism, an agenda of looting the resources, an agenda of no development, an agenda of no service delivery to the people. And he has sought to bring in his allies from the National Congress Party, with whom he has been ruling, and basically the rule is that of capturing the state and looting the resources of the country. There is nothing more that they are delivering to the country, and therefore this is not the SPLM that we struggled under and for. The agenda that is ruling today is an agenda of destruction. It is alien to the SPLM political program or vision, and therefore I do not see the so-called SPLM in government as the real SPLM in which an organization in which we struggle, and an organization in which has delivered the independence of South Sudan, which has struggled and sacrificed tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of its loyal and committed members to achieve these goals. So that is a different organization altogether. What President Kiir has done is to hijack the leadership of SPLM and destroy the SPLM itself, use only the name, but commit grave atrocities against our people, using the name of SPLM, destroying and tarnishing the image of the SPLM, to the point that the SPLM today, because of the policies pursued by President Kiir, is seen as the organization, even though that liberated the country, but it is the organization that had destroyed the SPLM. That is not the SPLM. Destroyed the country, I mean. That is not the SPLM that was led by John Garang. That is not the SPLM, which was an organization of committed freedom fighters, fighting for the people, sacrificing themselves, and doing everything, shedding blood and sweat to liberate this country for the people and to serve the people. SPLM members essentially are servants of the people, loyal and committed servants of the people, ready to die for this country. They have been dying for this country. And when now it is time to govern, the SPLM was supposed to be an organization that is ready to work very hard, even die on their job for the people. Building schools, building hospitals, building roads, building institutions, and empowering people and uniting people, building a nation out of our 64 tribes, building a nation out of the members of all these communities and transforming them into conscious citizens with rights and duties and with a sense of belonging to this country. Because of the destruction of SPLM and only the name that is left, and President Kiir is ruling not as an SPLM leader, not as an SPLM member, not even as he was during the struggle. The President Kiir we have today is a totally different human being, doing things that are contrary to his own history himself. So he has migrated maybe to the NCP or to totally a different agenda. Therefore, that is not the SPLM that we belong to. And I cannot be a Secretary General of such an organization. It is an organization just for the looting. If I wanted to be part of the group that is looting, fine, I would have been there. But that is not what we are here for. That is not what we want to spend the few years left for us to live on this earth. We want to be building a country and living a country that is peaceful, prosperous, for prosperity for the next generation.